Look, I get it. When somebody says Razer, I don't think business, I think gaming. But when Razer came to us and asked us if we want to take a look at their new professional workspace design products, I said, sure, let's take a look at that. So what we're talking about today is the Razer Black Widow Lite. So this is a 10 keyless, super small keyboard that is not necessarily geared towards gamers. It's geared toward offices or traveling work. So if you do a lot of moving about with your work, but you don't want to use the crappy keyboard that is attached to your laptop, they think that maybe they can convince you that this $90 keyboard is worth the buy. So let's take a look at the keyboard itself real quick and see just, well, what makes it click. All right, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is it in all its glory, the Razer Black Widow Lite. So again, the idea behind this is something that's more work and business style oriented. It isn't a straight up office but not gaming kind of scenario. It is a 10 keyless, which is kind of odd for an office environment, but having used this in combination with a wireless mouse with my laptop on a stand has been actually quite great. I've actually used the laptop more since I've gotten this set up than I ever did beforehand. But that's regardless of the point. So what we have here is, again, a 10 keyless design. It has a metallic top with Razer embroidered or embezzled, whatever, laser etched into it. And it is like a metallic gunmetal-esque color. Not quite as bright colored as gunmetal, but not so dark that it's just black. Under the individually lit keys, they are white. This is not RGB, so the RGB factor is not here. That's more of a gaming thing. This is, again, more business oriented. So under the keycaps that come off fairly easily, even though it comes with a keycap puller, it is the Razer orange switches. So the idea here is that they are silent but tactile. And if I had to compare them to another key, it would have to be something like the Roamer G, which, I don't know, I guess Razer knows what I like. I don't know, before they sent this out. Roamer Gs are probably some of my favorite switches. The Rocket AMO 120 with the Titan switches on their Vulcan keyboard, I like that. These I am quite a fan of. They're very, very responsive. And again, the lack of RGB is kind of nice, but let's take a look at it. The form factor is super slim, so if you're traveling with it, you can throw it in with your bag. It's not going to take up a lot of room. There are feet under it so that you can raise it if you need to, or not if you're like me. I don't really use it a whole lot with that. There is a USB cable plugs in here, micro USB. It's non-proprietary, so if you lose it, damage it, whatever, it's easily replaceable. I give them credit for that. I'm not a huge fan of micro USB. It's cheap, easy to replace if it ever messes up. As far as macro keys, you do have volume, up, down, mute, along with the function key to access those. Media keys, so play, pause, fast forward, rewind, or next, previous track. And you do have the ability to dim and brighten the switches from the keyboard, which is really nice. Again, the Razer switches are super nice. Didn't think I'd like them that much, but I'm gonna lean in and give a bit of a test. I'm gonna use the microphone on my lapel, and here we go. Very consistent in the sound across the board, so super nice to see that. Overall, very solid little keyboard, very useful. So let's jump into the conclusion and kind of go over what's left to say about it. So there you have it, guys. That is the Razer Black Widow Lite keyboard, and it is fairly light, but heavy enough to stay still. So one of the things that I forgot to mention in the video was that it does include the O-rings to quieten it down even more if you think it's a little bit on the noisy side. I personally don't think it's very loud. I actually like the little sound that it makes, but I may stick them on there just to see, well, what kind of difference it does make. So at the end of the day, 90 bucks for this keyboard is, it's asking a little bit. It's definitely a bit pricey, but the solid white keycaps or the solid white LEDs are super nice, and the feedback is good. The arch on the keys are nice. It's a very, very comfortable typing keyboard. So definitely have to give Razer kudos, because what I thought was going to be kind of ho-hum turned out pretty solid. It's not a lot of flash, but it gets the job done. So this has been Keith with WCCF Tech TV. Hope you enjoyed our review of the Black Widow Lite keyboard from Razer. And feel free to subscribe and, well, hit that notification bell so that we don't miss you in the next one.